Hello, hello, hello. It is Thursday evening. I had to think about it for a second. Sammy Kincaid, your public information officer with Officer Nikki Morales. How are you guys doing today? I hope that you're all having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. How's your Thursday gone?
It's going great.
It's going great.
Really, really good.
It's almost the end of your day, so
It
I bet
is.
it's a really great day for you.
It's my Friday.
It is your Friday. Get a long weekend. But it is March, which means that it is Women's History Month, and tomorrow is Women in Law Enforcement Day. So we thought it would be a good idea to ask you guys to send in some questions. We collected questions from Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and we are say Carne Asada said, "Tell her I said hi." She says hi. But we gathered some questions just so you could get to know Officer Morales a little bit better, as well as what it's like to be a woman in law enforcement. So, are you ready, Officer Morales?
I am.
All right. So, first up, first question, it's from Jennifer. She said, "How does it feel to be a woman who is making such huge impacts in her community?"
Well, it's an honor, honestly. I love what I do for the city of Mount Juliet. I love what I do for this, just every single day doing this job. There's only 15% of women, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. In the whole U.S., there's only 15% that are women in law enforcement. And to me, making a difference and being out here engaging with the community and helping everybody out, that's the best part of my day.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to think that there's only 15% of law enforcement that are women, and at Mount Juliet, including sworn and non-sworn personnel, there's a little over 20%. So that's pretty incredible to see how many women work in the police department at Mount Juliet. But we were even talking when looking at those questions. You were looking at some of the comments,
I
and
was.
and what was your reaction when you saw those comments?
So it was really cool. To me, because I just enjoy doing this job, I don't really get to see or hear about people's experiences with me. Let's say, because I saw some that one did a ride along with me, and then one I actually remember taking a report for. So I'm glad I was able to help you out, and just I'm glad I was able to make an impact.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're definitely making an impact every single day. And Long said that's one good officer right there.
Thank you.
But next up says, do you have any examples of females in law enforcement growing up? And if so, or if not, how did that impact your decision to go into law enforcement?
So to me, I think law enforcement was a calling. I wanted to serve some way somehow. I'm actually the first generation, and I'm the only person in my family that's ever been in law enforcement. So to me, that's really cool. I just wanted to make stepping stones for myself. Um, but for I mostly have just mentors. I would say people from the police academy and that I've been trained with, and that's really all my mentorship right there for sure. They
Yeah.
help me. Um, they help pave the road for me and future female officers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been some pretty great females, women that have come before in a lot of different industries, but definitely this is very male dominated. So I'm sure they've been very helpful to you. And somebody said, oh my goodness, a Hispanic in our local police force. Where are you from? I cannot speak Spanish, so I'm not going to try to pronounce that. But you're not Hispanic, are you?
So I was actually born and raised in the Philippines. I migrated to California when I was 6, so I can actually read, speak, and write Tagalog. So I was actually Asian Pacific Islander is what I am.
Okay. And you said you went to California?
Yes, I lived in California for a majority of my life.
Where in California?
San Diego, but I'm very happy to be in Tennessee. Very happy.
Yeah, no. And what led you to becoming a police officer is the next one.
I think it's just helping people. I think I wanted to serve the best way I could, and I think being a police officer was it. It really spoke to me when I was in the academy in California when one of these sergeant instructors told me, he's like, our job is to be the voice for the victims. And that really spoke to me. It's to help those who need help and um, help those who can't help themselves or protect themselves. So that's why I love doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next one, I think I know the answer to this one without even asking, but well, I don't know the first part. I don't know the first part, but the second part. The first
Okay.
part is what's it like being a cop? Second part of the question, is there a lot of stress and anxiety involved?
I don't know really how to answer that, but for me, being a cop is just being out here for our community, making the street safe, the community safe. Whether it just be a simple traffic stop, just to change someone's driving behavior, so we don't cause more accidents or recklessness out here. But it is stressful. I can go from a very high stress call to a very low stress call, and within one call. So let's say, for example, I could be going to an injury crash, finishing up with that, having to process that, and then having to take a phone report for someone who just lost some property. So it's just managing your stresses while doing this job for sure.
And that's one thing that Chief Mullins is really big on right now
Yeah,
is the mental health side of things and making sure to try to help lower that stress and anxiety
for
for
sure.
all of you guys. But the next question, since you started working, who is someone you look up to for guidance in this field? Someone who you strive to be like one day?
So sorry, there's a fire truck. So I think I'm really big on striving my or making a path for myself and taking that path. I think the people I look for guidance with is going to be the people I serve with to the left and right of me. Uh, I've I can't tell you how many times I've needed help and just needed a question asked, or if I just needed straight up mentorship to whether or not I should put in for a specific position. But out here in Mount Juliet, we're very supportive for each other, so we're always going to be there for each other. So I think my big mentors would be just the people to my left and right and higher ups for sure.
I like that. You got to be able to trust those that you're on the team with. So
For sure, I wouldn't even call it a team. We're definitely a family as well. We're very close knit. I would say that for sure.
yeah. All right. Next question. Lost my spot.
Okay.
Here we go. How safe is it out here for women? Do you have any recommendations, advice on how we can better protect ourselves? And
So
Lauren Phillips said, "Thank you for your service."
thank you. So I think it's anything can happen at any time, whether it be today or tomorrow. But you could always prepare yourself. For me personally, I've taken a liking to taking some self defense classes, which Mount Juliet actually hosts. We do a women's self defense class. I'm just one of the new instructors as well, so that's great. Um, so if anyone's ever free on a Saturday, we definitely would love to have you in the class and learn a few things.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's quarterly, so that'll happen 4 times this year. You guys just wrapped up, right? They just had
We did.
graduation this past or 2 Saturdays ago.
We did, and it was a great bunch of women in that class.
I wanted Nikki to teach me, or Officer Morales to teach me how to throw somebody over my shoulder, but maybe next time, right?
Yeah, I can. We can do a hip talk. Sure.
But next up is what's the best part of your job, and also what's the worst part of your job?
Um, the best part of my job is just I've said it over and over again, and I think I really do enjoy this. But it's just interacting with the community. I love going to community engagement events, hearing what people have to say, and really bridging the gap with. Um, I apologize. Just making sure we have that connection with the community because I don't know if anyone's noticed, but anytime we've ever needed help.
Hold on one second. There it goes. It went. So you might have to repeat part of that.
So, what I was saying was engaging with the community because the relationship that we're having with the community when it came to the tornado, we definitely worked hand in hand. But if we're out here looking for a suspect, you guys have always told us which way direction and to help bring someone into custody. So that's my favorite part of doing this job is just strengthening the relationship with the community. I would so for the hardest part about this job, it's just a lot of the stressors that come out on this job. Usually, it's just from high stress calls, whether it's a traumatic scene or anything. But nobody calls us for their best day. they usually call us for their worst day. So we're usually just there to help you through that rough time. Um, but I would say that and just being away from my family a lot, for sure.
Yeah. No, you definitely work really long hours and a lot of days, and you always are. I like how you put that. You really are called on the worst days, and a lot of people don't think about that, that you are seeing every single one of your days is everyone's worst day. So that would be tough to cope with. But you do have a comment on here from from Lieutenant Cawthorn saying, not while she's driving, but have Officer Morales check her email.
I will definitely do that, Elsie. I will definitely do that.
But next up is do you have kids or a spouse, and how do you handle, speaking of that work-life balance, how do you handle that work-life balance?
So I recently got married back in October. I really just do the best I can with work and life. I mean, I a lot of stuff happens last minute with this job, so I just have to adjust my work and my home life with that. But I on my days off, I tend to spend a lot of time with my spouse. Um, we are very outdoorsy, so we go camping or we'll go paddleboarding. Hopefully, when it warms up, I'll be back on the water. But yeah, that's really how I just manage it. Is just that and having good communication as well.
Yeah, communication is key. And the last question for you, as a woman, what are some of the strengths you bring to a male dominated field? And again, Allie, she says, thank you for your service.
Thank you. For a male dominated field, I mean, I think I've scared a lot of people on traffic stops whenever an officer asks for a backup unit because no one ever sees me coming. It's really a funny thing to see. But with women in law enforcement, we're a little bit more sensitive. We're a little bit more emotional. Not saying that we're erratic or anything like that, but we sense a little bit more emotion when it comes to certain people when they're going through a tough time or a hard issue that they're dealing with. So I think we're just a little bit softer, and I don't mean that's probably the worst word to use, but because we're not soft, we're very hardworking and we're there. But there's just something about women in law enforcement that I feel like we're just a little bit more sensitive to some information that we perceive.
Yeah, no, for sure. Men and women are definitely wired differently.
Very
So that is a unique perspective to bring to it that male would not. But I appreciate you answering the questions.
Anytime. I'm an open book.
But this is Officer Nikki Morales. Tomorrow is Women in Law Enforcement Day. March is Women's History Month. So you'll be seeing more stuff tomorrow about the other women that work at the police department in Mount Juliet. So stay tuned, pay attention to that, and we hope that you have enjoyed this ride along. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.